Big 12 expansion. We'll pull it up on the screen so you can see. Tweet from Max Olson over at The Athletic. He said, here's what Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark said on expansion today after the league spring meetings. We did discuss expansion, had a great discussion about expansion. In fact, we have a plan. As I've said all along, we have an appetite to be a national conference in our makeup from coast to coast, and we do believe in the upside of basketball moving forward as a collective group. That being said, we love our current composition, love the 4 new schools that are coming in next month. However, if the opportunity presents itself to create value, we will pursue it. Now, Aaron Torres, this is what his tweet said a couple of days ago. Can tell you that what Jason Shear heard is in line with what I've heard as well. And so Jason Shear, of course, Wildcat Authority at 247, he covers Arizona. He said the most smoke surrounding the Big 12 as of right now is UConn and Colorado. Doesn't mean Arizona is not involved or anything is imminent, just that those 2 schools are getting the most run internally. So Aaron Torres said Colorado and UConn are the Big 12's priority at this moment. Sounds like a strange pair, but there's a plan in place that will make sense when it comes together. So then today, just a few hours ago, Aaron Torres over at Fox Sports said, told you when the plan came out, it would make sense. Create the best basketball league possible. So if the SEC and Big Ten try to break off, they can't host a national hoops tournament without. He said, my guess on Big 12 targets, Colorado because of Dion, UConn, Arizona, plus Gonzaga or San Diego State. Okay. Memphis is also in there as a backup. If Gonzaga doesn't end up happening, or if, the Big 12 pulls Colorado and then the Pac-12 backfills with San Diego State, there are ways that the University of Memphis could end up being a part of that. Obviously, basketball being a priority, not a lot of bigger names out there than Penny Hardaway. But it is interesting, right? This thought process that Aaron Torres is going through, I kind of like this idea, right? It's a basketball conference. If and when the SEC and Big Ten try to break away from the NCAA, you can't have a legitimate national championship tournament without including the brands that are in the Big 12, especially if you were to bring in Arizona, UConn, etc. Right? I mean, you're looking at some major national brands. But if you look at the map, Colorado does make a whole lot of sense, right? As a traveling partner for BYU, they're right there. Memphis makes a whole lot of sense as far as regionality is concerned. I still don't know what to make of this Colorado thing. I don't believe that they are going to make a decision until they get whatever this TV deal is from the Pac-12. Just a guess. There's not a lot to it right now. There's just nothing there. So why wouldn't they be talking to the Big 12? And obviously, if you want to stay on with the most visibility possible, we've talked about this a lot, then you're going to want to go to the Big 12 because you're going to be on ESPN and Fox. Some of your games are going to be on streaming, but your biggest games will be on big national platforms where the majority of people can see them. If you're Deion Sanders, you probably want that. There's been a lot of talk about Deion wanting to go back to the Big 12 so that he can get into recruiting in Texas a little bit easier, right? He wants to be able to recruit nationally. That helps. Like being over in the Pac-12 doesn't necessarily do anything for anybody. But yeah, I think the UConn thing makes sense for the Big 12. I don't know that it makes sense for UConn unless UConn knows something about the idea of, which a lot of people have talked about this, Greg Sankey and some of those others, the potential of either making the NCAA tournament even bigger or taking the biggest brands and moving it over somewhere else to where you only get, a handful of teams into this big tournament every year. No more Cinderella. Like everybody's a big brand. It doesn't matter. So that's going to be interesting going forward. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Make sure and follow me on Twitter at GaryWCE. If you want to toss in a question, you can email me, Gary@winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.